Hello, everybody. Hello. It is me, Demetra K. I am sorry for my tardiness. There's a lot going on today by the grace of God. Black America, what you laughing at? By the grace of God, I am here again. I am so sorry for being late. It will never happen again. Not anytime this week, anyway. So as y'all can see, I am by myself. Walter, it is his youngest child's 18th birthday. So they are celebrating. He told me to send him a link, but I didn't do that because I didn't want to, disturb what he was doing. But anyway, welcome to the Demetra Case Show, where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. Of course, we are going to be remembering Black Wall Street. I believe it's the 102nd anniversary of that, May 31st. 1921 is when it happened. So I'm going to show you guys a short little video just to kind of, give it a full conversation. And I guess the question that I want to know is, are we ever going to build another one? Will there ever be another Black Wall Street or something even close to it, right? So let's see. I'm going to welcome Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You are the other side of the conversation. When I say, I'm going to ask you guys to click on the link and come on, just, give your question or your commentary, whatever it is you want to do. Let's see here. I'm not going to be on here that long today, probably about an hour or so. So let's see who is on here really quick. We have Buckhorse. How are you doing today? Don, my moderator, what's going on? Yep, Walter is celebrating his daughter's 18th birthday. It's his last child that was a minor. So, he's got a lot to celebrate. Let's see who else. Complex Blackness. How you doing? He says that's why it's important to be armed and trained. It could happen again because most Black folks, even in Second Amendment states, refuse to arm themselves. You also say plate carriers, level 3-4 plates, helmets, dang, gas masks, chest rigs, battle belts, and you named a whole lot of stuff. Black America, you cracked me up talking about start the damn show. Hi B1 always, how you doing? And King of Sorrows, what's going on with you? Jamarcus, how are you doing? All right, let's go ahead and get started for the sake of time because I've already wasted a lot of it. I'm gonna show you guys a little short video really quick, just kind of detailing Black America, not Black America. Well, I got you on my mind, Black America. Black Wall Street. So let me find it really quick. Here we go.
16 hours of violence and mayhem in America. Whites attacking a prosperous Black neighborhood in what would come to be known as the Tulsa, Oklahoma race massacre. Hannibal Johnson is an author and historian.
It begins on Monday, May 30th, 1921, which is Memorial Day. There's a teenage Black boy named Dick Rowland who shines shoes downtown. He's at work. He needs to use the restroom. Facilities are segregated. He goes to where he knows there's a facility available to him.
Operating the elevator in that building is Sarah Page, a 17-year-old white girl.
Dick Rowland enters the building, boards the elevator. Something happens, we don't know exactly what, but causes Dick Rowland to bump into, brush up against, or step on the foot of Sarah Page. She begins to scream.
Rowland was arrested the next morning and detained in a downtown courthouse. That afternoon, an article appeared in the newspaper implying a sexual assault took place. Racial tension was already running high in Tulsa.
Tulsa was a tinderbox or a powder keg. All that was needed was a catalyst or an igniter. That igniter or that catalyst, that trigger, was an elevator incident.
By early evening, a crowd gathered at the courthouse. Whites set on snatching the young man from jail to lynch him, and blacks set on ensuring that didn't happen.
The details are hazy, but at some time around 10 p.m., a shot rang out. Chaos ensued. At some point later, the angry white mob broke into a sporting goods store in this building, looting guns and ammunition, preparing for what would come next.
Violence raged in the area around the courthouse. In a telegram to the National Guard, the governor wrote, "Race riot developed here. Several killed, unable to handle situation." By dawn, the crowd made its way to the city's most prominent Black neighborhood.
The heavily armed white mob, likely more than 1,000 strong, made their way from the downtown area to here, Greenwood Avenue, the heart of a prosperous African-American community known as Black Wall Street.
The mob marched on Greenwood under the premise of putting down what it called a Negro uprising. They burned down homes and businesses, destroying almost everything.
There were even airplanes circling the Greenwood neighborhood, an unusual sight in 1921.
The official version of events is that airplanes were reconnoitering. They were looking on the ground to see what was going on. Eyewitnesses say that the airplanes both strafed the community with bullets and dropped incendiary devices, bombs, on the community. They may have been kerosene or nitroglycerin.
Thousands of blacks were rounded up and sent to makeshift internment camps. The violence finally ended when National Guard units entered Greenwood and martial law was declared. By the time the siege was over, more than 1,200 homes and businesses had been destroyed. Greenwood was essentially gone.
37 official death certificates were issued, but most historians feel the true death toll was much higher.
The best estimate from the leading sources is that the range of 100 to 300 is the most likely range.
But the horrific series of events quickly faded from the public consciousness. For decades, little was known about what really happened, and this tragic history was rarely taught in U.S. school.
So that was just a brief synopsis of what happened. Of course, you know, as the guy said, there was like 37 death certificates issued, but we know there was far more than that actually that was issued. Some people say upwards of 300, and some people are even saying more, right? But I also want to note that they said they being the survivors, which I think is maybe like 2 or 3 left now, they're well into their hundreds. They said that they, you know, saw planes drop incendiary devices, which were bombs. They said it was the first time that was ever done in America to its own citizens. And the second time, from what I understand, was again on Black people in 1985 during the MOVE. Remember the organization MOVE, the Black movement, where all the names were last names were Africa in Philadelphia. They too dropped bombs there. So United States of America don't really have a problem dropping bombs on Black people. But of course, as we know, to this day, Black Wall Street has not ever, you know, been resurrected. The people there really didn't get anything back. Of course, you guys know white people went in there and took over the land. And, you know, I think you saw at the end, there's a plaque to remember what happened. But those people were very wealthy. When I say those people, I'm talking about Black people were very wealthy. They had, you know, houses, hospitals, schools, stores, you name it. There was a fully functional town. Now, of course, Black Wall Street there in Tulsa, Oklahoma was not the only Black town that we had. We had a plethora of them. And of course, the same thing happened. As he said, too, the elevator was the excuse. The elevator was the excuse for white people in the neighboring town, because there was a few white people there at Black Wall Street is what they called it, but not many. One of the guys, he actually owned like the major general store there, and he got along, you know, good with the Black people there. And they said too that he was trying to hide Black people from the mob and things like that. But the white mob came from neighboring towns. You know, they were just salivating like a dog over a pork chop, just looking for an excuse to go in there and do what they did to Black people. Well, for one, they were jealous because Black people were flourishing without them. Now, you guys, I got to remember that was right smack dab in the middle of Jim Crow, not that far from slavery, right? But they were jealous, and they didn't like that Black people were thriving and did not need them for much of anything. Like, they did need them for certain things, but not much. And so those Black dollars were not going into those white people's hands or businesses, right? Now, there was also a white railroad company, if you will, that would do business with Black Wall Street, that would deliver goods and receive them and all that. So they actually helped. They actually helped them escape. You know what I mean? So there was really a lot going on there. But what I want to know from you guys is, maybe we can have a conversation. Are we ever going to build another Black Wall Street? Will it be another? So I'm going to open a link. If you guys want to click on it, is on YouTube. It's pinned there. All I ask is that if I have not seen your face before, please show me your face before I bring you up to the big screen, so I can know there's no shenanigans going on. See if we can come up with a solution as to if we're ever going to build another Black Wall Street anywhere, even a small one, right? I guess it doesn't have to be just yet as big as the one that was in Greenwood, but will it be anything close to it? So let me see who else popped into the comments while I wait, see if somebody else is going to pop on. Let's see. Damon, how are you doing today? Yes, positive vibes always, and B1 always. You say, I got $10,000 to put toward buying a town or land for a Black township. And, you know, from what I understand, there's several people that have purchased land in hopes of making it a black township. So I don't really know how it's going. I know a couple of years back, some people in Atlanta, black people, that was like 19 acres or something like that, they purchased in hopes of making a black town. So I don't know what happened with that at all. And of course, I know Brother Ben X of the Nation of Islam. He, I forget what he calls it, hereafter or something like that. But I know they have purchased a bunch of land as well. So forgive me for not following as to what is actually going on with that. Black America, click the link. In the complex blackness, he says, "No, we good." Oh, y'all don't want him to come up and be the co-host. Well, I'm just looking for somebody to come up, just to ask a question or whatever you want to do. Top notch rocker, how you doing? Thank you so much for that. I don't know. I don't have a lucky man. Unfortunately, I think. Arneva, how are you doing today? And Eunice, what's going on with you? And Jan Michael, how are you? Says, hey, and greetings. Apologies for no, I was late. So you guys are on time. I was the one that was late. He says, I'll backtrack and find out about Walter. Yeah, so his daughter, his youngest baby, is 18 today. Oh, no, I should also say today would be my mother's 74th birthday. She shared the same birthday as my niece. So, just referencing my mom on today. So let's see here. Black America, I'm going to bring you up here. Let's see who else came on here. And the complex blackness also say the only group to get bombs dropped on our heads was black people twice that I know of. I mean, probably more, but that's what I know. And Damon says the divided snakes of America. Yes, indeed. And King of Sorrows says the reporter said faded from history. I think he meant erase. Absolutely right. Erase. They put the plaque up. Look, this is where prominent Negroes used to live, and that's it. Now white people own the land. White people took over, everything that they had, right? Black people, I mean, even the survivors, I'm not sure if they got any money. I think maybe they did, but like they're 100 and something, and it took forever for them to get those reparations, if you even want to call it that, if they got it. I know they were talking about it, so I don't know for sure if they got it, but they didn't even want to at least give them a house that their people lost and stuff. So it's just horrible. Let's see here. Eunice says so sick and satanic. Yeah, and those people are there. The people who took over the house that or the land, like nothing happened, right? Hey Corliss, how are you doing? B1 says just white folks being white folks. Yeah, easy. How are you doing this evening? And Arneva. Well, Buckhorse, he says, we're going to rock and roll. Okay. Arneva says, we had over 50 self-sufficient towns back then, at least, right? Hey, Freddie B, how you doing? Mike Lewis, what's going on with you? Thank you so much. And B1 says, if I can help it, we'll build another one. I hope we do. Damon says, keep those black dollars out of the hands of anyone that doesn't support the Black First family. Yes, indeed. And Black America, I'm going to read your comment, even though you're up here. Maybe you can explain. It says, we are not married without that. No community, without a community, no families. Yep. Hey, Thunder, how are you doing? And Lion of Yehuda, I hope I said that right. Yehuda, I know who you are. How you doing? You said you want to come where you want to come. And Black, first you say you are right about Georgia. 19 families. So 19 families bought 96 acres of land to create a safe place for their families. Okay, got it. Yes. Happy birthday to my niece Morgan and my mother. And let's see here. Extreme X, how you doing? It says no, they didn't get anything. So they didn't get anything at all. It's crazy. Thunder says stewardship is a word we need to put into regular conversation. Artemis, how you doing? It says no, the insurance company refused to pay off the policy. Yep. Black people, and a lot of them fled. They never came back because they were afraid, right? They were afraid to go back. D Griffin, how you doing? They say love and light, beautiful Demetria. Same to you. And Thunder says, I was at a funeral recently and everyone kept mentioning about matriarchs. I noticed that there are a lot of matriarchs. I feel it's time to have both matriarch and patriarch. Yes, indeed. October Opal, how you doing? Say these folks hate to admit their wrongs. Absolutely. Well, come on, Lion Glenn, how you doing? You got to go on YouTube and click the link. It is pinned there if you want to join the discussion. And Thunder, you say, but how do you feel about creating patriarchs like all the other communities have? I mean, I think that we need patriarchs. Easy, I'm gonna bring you up on mute your mic. I think that we need patriarchs. As we know, the Black community is the majority. I would say matriarchal, and I don't think it's that way in any other community but ours. So yeah, we need to switch it around. And Bashari, how you doing? It says much love and power. Thank you so much. Black America, how are you today?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello, beautiful people in the chat. Complex.
Hold on. Easy, where'd you go? This is the second time you came up yesterday and today and you disappeared. What happened? All right, go ahead, Black America.
Good people in the chat. Even Complex Blackness. I still love you out there, even though you're hating on me. I love this topic of the Black communities and Black Wall Street and Rosewood and Greenville and all of these places. It takes us back to a nostalgic place, but at the same time, it's heartbreaking because, you know, like my dad didn't get to see Barack Obama become president, a Black man. But at the same time, you know, will we ever see something like that again? So that is an awesome question.
It definitely is. You know, I guess we need to figure out what we can do to build one. Easy, how you doing? Easy. You have to unmute your mic if you're speaking.
Okay, there we go.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing, dear?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. Hey, I want to tune in on this great conversation you're having about Tulsa here. I was watching something today about there's a civil rights attorney that's leading the way in getting most of those people that are living getting their reparations. And from what I understand, they're working on getting exhuming bodies and stuff like that because they're going to use that to further the case, to help the case for these people to get their money. But the mayor of the town of Tulsa had the audacity to say that they shouldn't be responsible for repaying a debt that they had nothing to do with. And that is so insulting to me. And, you know, that was government-sponsored terror there, state level and federal level, I believe. The reparations it needs to be done. They just need to pay these people, man. And it's not, you know, if
Hey, what up?
Tulsa is
It's me.
Can you hear me?
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, she outside playing.
Oh, he wasn't muted. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Go ahead, Easy. Easy.
Okay. Yeah. So will there be another Tulsa? Maybe not in my lifetime. I hope so, but it may not be in our lifetime, unfortunately. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say, Dee. But
Well, thank you
nice
for
seeing you.
coming on here.
Yes, ma'am.
And I love and appreciate everything you do for the show.
Oh, anytime.
All right, come back and see
ma'am.
us again.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye. Glenn, how are you?
I'm good. It's Yehuda. It used to be Judah, but I don't like the J no more.
Okay, Yehuda, how you doing?
Good. That's how serious I am about our black folks. I feel like if you ain't changed your slave name yet, you ain't serious.
Okay, I'm thinking about it, but all right, what you got on the topic?
I feel like it'll be ridiculously ignorant if we do the same thing again, because whites have only gotten smarter. In other words, we weren't able to fight with them then. Do you think we can fight with them now? Not even close. We don't own no planes. We don't own anything. So what's to stop them? When I say they're smarter now, that means you won't even know what they're doing. They can have people come over and bring viruses to your community, and y'all all start shutting down. They can do biological, what is it called? The engineering they do with vegetables and foods and stuff at the grocery stores. We don't own grocery stores. They got techniques like that. They can put stuff in your air conditioning and your gas lines that are gassing you slowly. They can put stuff in your water. We don't have any ownership to none of these things. That's why blacks have to go back to Africa and build what we want to build. Besides, we can't even afford to build the kind of community we want to build now. Those people in Tulsa, Oklahoma were very, very responsible. A lot of rich men started those communities, but today we couldn't even do it. I don't even see it working. I see the same thing happening, except we won't even be able to prove what they're doing to annihilate us this time. So it would be ridiculous. Why do it again?
So you're saying it's your opinion that we won't be able to build another Black Wall Street?
We would, but what's going to stop them from tearing it down?
Well, I mean, I guess there's nothing to stop them from tearing it down, but do we just not do it?
You got to go back to Africa. Everything's cheaper in Africa. I'm going to just give you an example. I've been studying over the last year. I'm moving to Ghana within the next couple months, but everything's affordable in Africa. I pay $5,000 a month for the whole year on a place in Africa, but here it's $2,000 a month. So it's ridiculous, and we don't have to pay taxes on land there. It's just so much easier to build a community. All the stipulations here with the government and so forth, nobody even really owns anything here. There you will really own the land if you build a community, and that's what my family's working on now. My brother and I are moving.
Can I jump in on you, brother?
Go ahead. That's what I'm here for.
All right. So now, do you follow O'Shea Duke Jackson at all?
No, sir, but I will after the day. How you spell it?
You don't need to.
Why you say that?
Go ahead, Black American.
Because okay, so we have a lot of YouTubers over in Africa right now.
Okay.
And they speak on the difficulty of actually going over there, because they do have communities and they do have people. Their family structure over there is set up still on the grounds of family. And if you're not in the family, you don't get those things. So you would have to essentially go over, come back, go over, come back. You can't just go over and stay. He's been over there for a few years, and he's a super huge guy, and he makes a lot of money. And so I suggest you find somebody like that to follow, one of them brothers that are already over there and are already doing well and actually doing that, before you try and jump in the pot. Because it's a lot of brothers and sisters that have went over to Africa, and they go over there and find out that things are just as expensive, but the money that you actually make over there, it doesn't equate to what we make over here in America.
Right. See, the thing is, it's a blessing when you have American money and using it in Africa. Then your money is pretty much 10 times its value. Their dollar is about 10 times less than ours in particular places like Ghana, Cameroon. These places.
I understand that, but let's say you go over there with 100,000. Okay, that 100,000, yes, you're going to be able to do a few things and start a few businesses and things like that. But the upkeep and the startup of things and having things imported to another country, it's going to be very expensive. That's what I'm saying. You have to think about that. And then once again, you're not in their community, so you will be shut out of quite a few things. Some brothers are doing it successfully, but it's pretty hard for a lot of other people to do it. I just suggest you do a lot more homework on it. And
Yeah,
as
you
far
have
as
to be
where you
part of
go,
a community. Yeah, you definitely have to be part of a community. They have diaspora and expat communities that this is what they specialize in, helping Americans get back to Africa. But you're right. If you don't join one of those, you'll be over there, and basically you can just like anywhere you go, people will manipulate you because there's no price tags over there, and they can tell an American just like that. So basically, they feel like we have a lot of money. So if I go and buy some plantains, they're going to charge me extra or double because I'm an American. But when you know somebody or when you're part of a community, yes, you're absolutely right. They will take advantage of you and kind of leave you out in a sense. But when you're a part of a community that's devoted to moving back to Africa, it really helps out a bit. That's what I'm pretty much joining. I know quite a few people I've been knowing for 2 years that are over there. So people that I can kind of trust. So you're right. I'm not going over there without knowing anything. But as far as port and everything, it's too expensive to take everything you have with you from here to there. You basically just got to start fresh, you know, sell your stuff and go. That's what I'm doing.
But let me ask you this, because everybody don't want to move to Africa. So what about the people who want to stay here? As I see a lot of people in the chat, Thunder says, I'm gonna mute your mic, Yehuda, really quick. A lot of people in the chat Thunder rather said, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, if you build it, you need to defend it. So, you know, we have to be in position to do that. But the other question is, why shouldn't we really be able to build, right? Why shouldn't we be able to build and have our own stuff? And I saw somebody else ask the question. Let's see, where'd it go? Jihab, I don't know if I'm saying this right. It says, if you guys truly care about what happened to Black Wall Street, why didn't you people rebuild it back up a long time ago? Well, I don't know who you people are, but I don't know. I don't want to assume who you are. But you know why we didn't rebuild it? It's the same reason why it was torn down, and that it was torn down. That land was stolen, and the property was stolen from them and given to white people who, you know, own the stuff in the land now. So come on, let's not be silly here. Don, I'm gonna bring you up.
Demetra, it's really bad static. Do you hear that?
Do y'all hear static? Don, do you hear static? No, I don't hear it.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, maybe need to go in and come out and come back in, because I thought maybe it was my mic, but my mic seems like it's not touching anything.
Okay, I'll fall out.
Okay. Brother Don, how are you doing today? Let me unmute you. Wait. Let me unmute you. You're gonna have to unmute yourself. It's on your end.
Okay, Sister Demetra, I am doing quite well. Thank you for asking. I want to encourage my brother Yehuda. And I want to encourage the nephew Yehuda. As Don P. Ben Yehuda, man, do what you got to do. I want to know how much research Black America has done. It don't sound like he's done a lot at all. We're moving. By the end of the year, we're moving. We're out of here. Because America is about to make it real bad for you.
Absolutely.
And with the World Health Organization and that mandate, as soon as this next pandemic comes down, guess what? World Health Organization will be taking over your government. You won't have a choice anymore.
Can I ask y'all gentlemen a question? Because y'all know so much about Africa. Who's over there now?
We got whole projects over there. But I'm
saying, who's going over to Africa now other than Africans that live there?
A bunch of American and white folks.
A lot of Chinese.
White folks are leaving America and going to Africa. They're leaving Europe and going to Africa because they know what time it is. So that's who's going. Black people are not going in droves because most of us don't have the money. That's the main reason why some black people are in love with America, and they wouldn't leave this place if you paid them.
Right.
But most won't leave because they don't have the money. They don't have the vision. I don't know what Black America's talking about. We already have our business plans and stuff. We got people that's been over there since before the pandemic.
Let me ask this question
So,
here.
you know, people are building lives.
Let me ask this question. Thunder wants to know
Okay.
if we build over there and a group comes and wants to destroy it or take it, do we move again? And if so, when do we stop moving and stay put?
First of all, you got to be intelligent and quit listening to these white people. We have a lawyer. We've got a development company that we're working with. We actually will be manufacturing the materials to build our house, to build our houses and our other buildings. So I don't know what people are talking about. It's like anything else. I'm an entrepreneur. So it's like anything else. You've got a plan to succeed. No one plans to fail. They just fail to plan. So know what your costs are. Know what you're working with. See what the market looks like. There's a lot of good markets in there, a lot of industries, especially like agriculture and stuff like that. People have gone over there and made their fortunes.
Let me ask this
So,
question.
you know,
Jalen, how you doing today? He says, obviously we would buy the land. However, wouldn't we gentrify it with our American ways?
My reception must not have been that good.
She's asking.
You were breaking up.
Am I breaking up?
Yeah.
Yehuda, am I breaking up?
No, you're fine out here. Everything's fine.
So it ain't me, it's you.
That's what I said. It's probably me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yehuda, I ask you this. She says, obviously we would buy the land. However, wouldn't we gentrify it with our American ways?
Absolutely. For anybody that's a part of the movement, it's not just a physical thing. You should also be changing in your mentality, because Africa is nothing like America. In other words, if you turn on the African radio, there's no filth. There's no garbage. It's not like ours. You might catch a little cuss word every now and then, but they sing about love. They still have families. They still respect family and so forth. They don't have the high divorce rate like we have or and so forth. So yes, our culture is drastically rubbing off on theirs because of the internet. But I believe they're going to catch on. They're going to realize, hey, these Americans are coming here because they like our culture. They want to be back to themselves. They don't want all of this gang stuff and all of the filthy music and all of this baby mama and women chasing money and men chasing sex only and so forth. That's not African culture. We learned that from westernized culture. We weren't like that, and we still aren't like that. The death rate as far as crime and violence over there is far better than ours, and they got billions of people. We only have millions.
Yeah, I mean, and I've had the pleasure of going to Africa 2019. I'm gonna put your mic on mute just for a minute. I had the pleasure of going to South Africa 2019 and the Seychelles, and it was a very pleasant atmosphere. I mean, it was nothing like America. I mean, even the food, you could just taste the difference, right? And if you know how it works in South Africa, where it's like 90% black, 10% everybody else, but it's the upside down as far as they own 90% of the wealth and black people like 10% of the wealth. Even though they, a lot of them were impoverished, they had great attitudes, you know. People were hardworking, getting it out the mud. And one thing one of the many things I will say I enjoyed about being over there is, you know, all the Black-owned businesses. You're able to just be amongst Black people, right? You don't have to say, well, let me go search for a Black-owned business today or whatever. They're just there. So I ultimately would love to move to Africa. I'm liking South Africa so far, but everybody, you know, don't want to go. Some people do feel like America is my home. My ancestors lost a lot, including life over here in America. And a lot of people are like, I want my reparations. Now, will it ever happen? Hopefully. But it's also been said, too, that maybe the United States of America don't want to give us reparations because they know most of us would be out of here. Like, thank you for the money. I'm moving, I'm leaving, right? And then there goes the working class and, everything else they depend on Black people for, the prison labor, and just you name it. So there's a lot of things going on there. Don, can you hear us again? Are you back?
Oh yeah, I can hear you fine. The thing is, Demetra, they're going to listen. They're replacing us anyway, so it really doesn't matter if they give us reparations and we leave. They're replacing us anyway. When I drive around here in Northern California, I see them doing the jobs we used to do, living in the neighborhoods we grew up in, and our people living on the street. So we're being replaced by the Latino class and for the working class, and the Asian, they are like the business class and also working class, but they will hire the Latinos in their restaurants to cook for them and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a check how things are done. The Most High is making us so uncomfortable that those of us he's awakened already hear his voice and want to obey. And so he told me to come out of Babylon.
So let me ask you, Yahuda, let me ask you this, and I'm gonna put your mic on mute, Don. Thunder wants to know why didn't he? I'm assuming speaking to you. Answer the question on why don't we stop? I think he meant running and protect what is ours, just like everyone else.
Stop running and protect what is ours. He's referring to the things we have here. Well, we all know that the law works against us here. It's just harder for us to get ahead. Me personally, I grew up a fairly decent life with good parents, but here it's been a struggle. And oftentimes it's because of the law works against us. A lot of Black men have trouble with the law. I fought the law on several occasions, and thank God I beat it. But that's the big issue with why it's hard for us to get ahead here. Is because I feel like things work against us. Systematic oppression, in a sense. For instance, a big problem is a lot of our women rather depend on the government because the government is more consistent. They get free housing once they have 2 or 3 children. They get groceries every month. And then that man, he may not have the same dependability as Uncle Sam. So, and then if that man tries to come into the house with the woman, they say, hey, you can't have him here or we'll kick you off the system. So that's splitting our relationships up. It's hard for us to protect what we have here because of systematic things like that.
Absolutely. Black America?
Yeah, I hear you. It's much better. And to the brother, I didn't say be scared to leave or anything like that. That's not what I was directing that towards. What I am directing it towards is the fact of, if you open up a business in the first 2 years, 2 to 5 years, it's a highly likely that your business will fail. Okay, if you move to another state, you're talking about moving to a whole nother continent. It is 48 countries in Africa, and bro, you cross the borders over there. Each country has their own individual guidelines and set of rules and the way they want things done. It just behooves all of us as Black Americans or anybody that's moving anywhere. I'm from LA. I live in Vegas, but I wouldn't go to South Carolina and just try and move the same way that I do out here on the West Coast, because it's completely different. And what I was saying to him was, the family structure there, everything goes back to the family. All of the kids give money to help the family. If you mess with one of their chicks, that means you're going to be taking care of the family. If one of their sons marry one of your daughters, they still going to be taking care of one of their family. Their family structure is completely different than American family structure and what we're used to. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I totally agree. Things are very different there. And whatever part you may be looking into or researching, I agree with you. You have to know what you're doing before you go there because everything's totally different as far as the laws. But I think that it's a lot better when it comes to your ability to start a business. First of all, they don't have all of the legalities. For instance, if I wanted to go over there and start a lock shop like I did here, it's just a few papers that I have to sign. As long as I rent the space, it's just a few papers of the government that I have to sign. I don't have to do all of this schooling and all of this unnecessary tax stuff. No one has to come and do inspections. And but everyone over there has their own business. The lady next door sells plantains. Go ahead, D.
Oh no! When you see me doing that, I'm waving to people like, that's new coming on. But
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody has their own business. One person sells plantains, the other person sells chickens. The other, that's how it is over there. So before you go, you should know what business you're going to start. I was doing my research yesterday, and I found out there's a big issue with the roads there, meaning they have a lot of potholes. So if someone wanted to go there and start a concrete company, they'd be a millionaire in 2 years. I promise you that. It's that simple. It's a virgin land, meaning it's just full of opportunity. They are just now getting to the point to where they have stable internet. So if someone wanted to go over there,
NGO, they're going over there doing the road.
Repeat that.
Yeah, they're building roads. They're going over there. These are Americans. They're going over to Tanzania and building roads.
Yes.
They're being received by the government and other people. Huge reception. See, there's a lot of misconception about Africa. And until you know people that have gone there, people that live there, you really can't say anything about it. And each of the countries are kind of different. Some of them are similar. Some are more like America, and some are not. By the way, there's 54 countries on the continent. So, you know, we've been doing our research, and we got our people that have been there for 3 years or so or longer. They got their businesses. We know what kind of businesses we want to go into. And that stuff has been researched. We got the money to do it.
Let me ask you this, because I want to make sure that we answered Thunder's question. So I'm going to put these up, and I want just a quick answer. So y'all can give me a quick answer. First one, why not run the city like they do? County clerks, local judge, sheriff, chief of police, etc. If they can do it, why can't we? Yahuda, if you can answer that in 20, 30 seconds. If they can do it, why can't we do it? Let me, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, you say, why can't we do it here?
Yes.
I feel like America is going down. So the guy that said it earlier, what will be the purpose? BRICS is here now. All of these countries are shunning the American dollar. It's 24 countries now, and it's only growing. And also, there's another pandemic coming out. We know these things. It's only getting worse here.
Right. And
why stick around?
Don, if they can do it, why can't we do it?
Okay, first of all, history. Just look at our history. We have done it. And every time we do it, it gets destroyed by them. We're not, I'm going to be straight up. Our time is done here. Our 400 years is over. The Most High got, he's going to make it really uncomfortable and people are going to leave. But to answer the question, we have. And we see where we are today.
Okay, but let me throw this in here. Maybe somebody else can ask. So we know that for whatever reason, I'm going to put you on mute. We know, there we go. We know that for whatever reason, a lot of Black people can't even afford to walk across the street. So how is it that we can't stay and build here, but we're expecting Black people to pack up or even just take themselves? Listen, I've traveled to Africa. It ain't cheap. There's a lot of other places you can go that's far cheaper, right? So what makes us think that Black people are going to say, well, you know, I'm struggling here, can't afford to pay rent, I'm going to pack up and make this mass exodus, you know, make this mass exodus over to Africa?
Well, it's for us to stay here. If you think about it, we were kidnapped, right? I mean, we were abducted and taken and put in slavery. Imagine if that happened to you, like with someone on the street, abducted you, took you to their house.
I get all that, but I'm saying, how are we supposed to make this mass undertaking to go travel? Because financially, it costs money to go, right? I've heard you, I say, and many other people who are moving to Africa say, I have to save and be strategic about it. So most Black people here, they're like, rent's due tomorrow, right? So I don't even know how I'm gonna do that, let alone try to plan to move to, a whole other continent. So how is that supposed to take place? Like, what are you guys' suggestion? If, like you guys, how do they do that? If they're not making it here, how do we expect them to move and then make it over there? Because we know also to move to Ghana, there's some things you got to do. You can't just say, hey, Ghanaians, I'm coming over here and I want to move. You got to don't you got to get like a visa and a whole bunch of other stuff before you can just go over there?
Yes, and once you're part of an organization, a diaspora or expat community, they usually have a means of you all putting your money together. For instance, For Hebrews, that's my brother's website. We both put this website together where we're putting our money in the cryptocurrency. It's been going up, all the way up. We've got the best top of the line professionals. You can take $500 every month. And basically that's going up so high, I don't even want to repeat it over the phone. But if you could spare $500 a month, then you will be well off over there.
Let's keep it a buck. We know most people can't, they don't got 500. And I'm not being, negative. I'm just keeping it real. We know most people don't have $500 to spare. So we're asking
$200 a month.
Even that, and I'm just throwing it out there. So $200 to spare, in addition to living in high-ass America and trying to save to move to go to Africa. Now, I will say where I went, it was a lot cheaper to live there than to live here. But, it's securing a place over there. It's a lot to do. It's not just, poof, I'm leaving. It's a lot to do. So I know in theory, it sounds really good and doable. But realistically speaking, a lot of people aren't going to be able to do that. So the other solution is, what do they do while they're here? Do they try to build a Black Wall Street, or do they just say, well, I'm just going to sit here and do nothing?
The problem is we don't have a collective. And without a collective, without a unit, without a community, even with all of the rich people that we do have in our community, we're not going to be able to have a Black Wall Street again. And I don't agree with the conspiracy mindset that the other dude was saying, as far as, they're going to put stuff, brother. I don't agree with they're going to put stuff in our water or anything, because I have brothers that are engineers that I work with and that are in my group. And we got some smart brothers. It's some really smart brothers on our team. But as far as far as us building a community, we don't have the community. Our millionaires won't get together and do anything together unless it's going to give them a good photo op, because they know that the white people is going to cut them off, just like they did Kanye West. They'll start cutting them off. And Black people, for the most part, don't support other Black people. It's hard to go find a Black grocery store. It's hard to go find a Black shoe cobbler. I'm using an old word. It's hard to go different places and patronize Black only owned businesses. And even if they own the business, they don't own the building. You see what I'm saying? So it gets really difficult for, other people to do it. I agree with buying land. I got land. I got a bunch of it. Grapes on them, cows, chickens. It's not easy though. Nobody wants to go and farm. One of the brothers was talking about going farming. We were farming for years in this country. Black people don't want to go farm. You know how hard farming is? It's very difficult. Our women like getting their hair and nails done. You can't take a intact black woman over there and tell her to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to start feeding cows, pigs, and chickens. Not a lot of them. Maybe Miss Demetra will do it, but most women won't do it. Would you do that, Demetra?
I'm not the farming type of chick, but I would love to watch my man do it. I could take care of all the stuff in the house, and he could take care of all the stuff in the yard. I don't have a problem with that, but I ain't gonna be sitting up there, milking no cows.
and that's what I'm saying. Farming is a family group unit activity. That's not an undertaking that you do alone or by yourself. It's not something that you can do by that's why people used to have a bunch of kids so that they can do that. That's why over in places like China, they used to throw the girls in the river and keep the boys, because they said, I need somebody to help me with this stuff. You see what I mean? And like I said, I'm not saying don't go. That's just like the passport bros. Bro, if you want to go get one of them beautiful women over there in Brazil or Belize or Colombia, go ahead, do your thing, because they are beautiful. They are feminine. They are not like our women. But at the same time, what is it going to take? Oh yeah, come on. We all
Demetra,
know. We see
it looks
them
like
girls
she
from
has
Cuba.
something to say about that.
Man, we see them girls from Colombia and Cuba. Them they on their squats. They at the gym every day.
Wait a minute. To see, I thought this whole manosphere and divestisphere thing had died down. Like, I haven't really seen it a lot, on the internet, but y'all want to keep talking about it. Y'all keep talking about all these soft and feminine women, all the other countries, but what's weird is y'all talk about going over there, taking care of them, making sure that y'all, this term I keep hearing, living a soft life. They over there where they can rest in their femininity, but over here, some of y'all want us to do it all. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you would stay over here and maybe take a black woman over here and help her live a more feminine life, a soft life, you get the same results. But I'm gonna tell you, if you ain't doing that over here with your woman, you ain't gonna do it over there with nobody else's woman either.
Ms. Demetra, you, once again, we started talking about The Color Purple yesterday.
I ain't trying to go there no more. Okay?
Hey, no, and what I want to say is, just because you don't think a man is taking care of you the right way doesn't mean that man is not taking care of you. You as a woman don't know what and how men have to do. Just like I don't know what you as a woman have to do to make it through day by day. Our lives of what we do are completely different. Women over here.
One thing I do have is a good daddy. I have a good daddy. I have a great example of a daddy, a provider, and all of that. So I do know to some degree what it takes. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. My mom, I got to tell you guys all the time, very educated woman. Happy birthday to my mom today. Very educated woman. She had her LVN and all of that, but she chose to stay home and raise her children. You know why? Because my father made it so that she could do that. My mom didn't have to go out and bust a hustle, come home and take care of the children in the household. My father made it so that she didn't have to. He provided everything she needed to make a house a home, make him a wife, and us a good mom. So we're not talking about that same dynamics between men and women anymore. See, a lot of times, I'm going to say this. I said I wasn't going to really get off into this, but a lot of times when I hear a lot of men talk about the type of woman they desire, I hear a glorified blow-up doll. That's what I hear. She needs to be able to do this, that, and the other to me. So it's like there's a lot more that goes into it, because a lot of times I hear you guys just want a servant as well. You know what I mean? So I know what a functioning, well-functioning household between a man and a woman looks like, because my parents were that.
My parents were that also, and in that same breath, my mom never worked, and as far as my mother never worked, and my dad worked almost until the day he died. That's what you get. You get to stay at home and I get to work until I die to take care of you. I mean, it's simple economics. That's why men have always died earlier than women. We always have. It's never been, oh, I'm going to outlive you by 10, 20 years. That's why it's always a big mama. Big Papa, he done died 20 years ago, and the grandmama is still alive. A lot of times. Not all the time, a lot of times.
Yes, and in Africa, it's very different as far as the structure of family there. For instance, I have a friend. I was actually helping out with dishes after a date with a friend, and she was like, "What are you doing?" You know, she was from Africa. She said men don't do dishes because in her family, she's never seen her father ever in the kitchen cooking, doing dishes, or anything like that. The man takes care of the woman. The woman stays home and watches the house, the children, and keeps everything in order. They're still on that there. And here it's a little different. The women are more on, I'm independent. I got my own. I don't need you, but you could take me out here or there. The women there would say, hey, what can...
You know what, though? I have to interject here, though.
Demetra don't believe that. She don't believe that women say that.
No. I don't, but see, anybody who's following me long enough knows that I'm not on it's just the black woman's fault or it's just the black man's fault. It takes all of us, both of us, to make a conducive relationship. But going on saying it's just the women, I'm saying that's bull conquer. That's what I'm saying. Just like it's not just the men. Because as I said, I've seen it done. I've seen it, but see, y'all talking about that, and I really do question that. So I'm going to ask each one of you gentlemen this. What makes you think, if you couldn't make it work with an American sister, what makes you think you're going to go over to another person's country and make it work with her? What are y'all going to do differently?
You want to go first, or shall I?
Well, I think the difference is what I pretty much said. Here, I think the relationship issue is women are very, pardon my expression, the best way to put it out there is a lot of them are following social media with this Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj type mentality. And I think a lot of men here are going to passport brothers because they don't want that. I know you're going to say a lot of women aren't like that, D, but hey, I bet you all three of us brothers say, yeah, we're seeing a lot of it. It's somewhere between 7 out of 10 women rather be Nicki Minaj than a good housewife.
I'm going to be honest with you. I know quite a few women, and I don't know any of them who are trying to be Nicki Minaj. See, the other thing you got to ask yourselves, brothers, is what kind of women are y'all seeking? Are y'all seeking the Nicki Minaj's? Or, I'm going to put you on mute. Oh, there you go. Are y'all seeking the Nicki Minaj's? Or as Donovan and I often joke about, are y'all looking for somebody who may look like a Florida Evans? Now, y'all don't want to deal with a woman like that. Y'all want the woman that's looking like the internet thought or an Instagram model. That's the women y'all go for. But I don't know no women who, I've never had a conversation. And I would love a lady to come up here. I've never had a conversation with any of my homegirls to say, you know what, girl, today I just woke up trying to be like Nicki Minaj. What kind of woman in her right mind trying to be Nicki Minaj? I really want to know. And where y'all meeting these women at that want to be Nicki Minaj?
Okay. All right. So let me interject. He's not saying they want to. A beautiful woman doesn't have to be a tramp or a thought. Okay. So let's clear that up. Just because you're a beautiful woman don't mean you have to be ugly on the inside. The women are being ugly on the inside. And just because it's a good looking woman doesn't mean that she's a bad woman. Okay. I think that's what the brother was saying.
That ain't what I heard him say, but I hear this a lot. And Dearness, how you doing? I hear that a lot in regards to black women over here. You know, I even hear this a lot that black women over here are negatively influencing the women abroad. So what I also hear is that those women are stupid. Not that I'm saying that, but that they must be dumb enough to allow themselves to be influenced by the evil American black woman. But again, ain't none of y'all answer my question. If you can't make it with the woman over here, what you gonna do differently over there?
I'll get on it. My thing is this. I'm not with a woman right now. Haven't been with one for years. The thing about it is, this country makes it very difficult for black men and women to come together in meaningful relationships because of the amount of time, the history that has been since we had black families that were established. Make no mistake, they destroyed our families. But the thing about it is, the women over there, they are raised to be wives. My nephew has 3 wives. One's American, 2 are from the continent. One's
Let me ask y'all this. Because I keep hearing y'all talk about those women are raised to be wives, but are y'all raised to be husbands?
Given the opportunity, yes, I can be a husband.
Wait, no. Wait.
I've never been one, okay?
Okay, but let me
I
ask
can
you
only
this.
tell you.
Okay, but you say given the opportunity, y'all could be a good husband. See, y'all keep putting the onus back on the woman, but they over there raised to be wives, but are y'all raised to be husbands? See, because when you have both of those working together, then you're gonna have you'll have a better union. But like I said, y'all keep saying this, exactly what I keep hearing. They're raised to be wives. Let me ask every one of y'all this. What does it mean to be raised to be a wife? Yehuda, what does it mean to be raised to be a wife?
I'll give you a quick example. If you don't mind, I'll get to your question. But my example is I was in a workplace at a call center. I had 2 females that I was interested in. They both were interested in me. So I had to make a choice. Can't be dating 2 women in the same company. One was African, the other was American. The American woman wanted me to take her out to lunch every single day. Where you gonna take me today? I ain't trying to go to no chicken restaurant. I need to go. You got to take me someplace, Olive Garden or better. Okay. The African woman brought me food every day. And then when it was time to go on a date, she said, hey, we're not doing all that. You don't have to pay for all that. I'll tell you what, I'm cooking tonight. And when I came to the house, I was treated like a king, literally. Hi, welcome to my home. Let me take your coat. Come sit over here. Here, let me put your feet up. Here's the remote control. What would you like to watch? I have several things to watch. I will be in the kitchen. What would you like me to make? You can have this or this. Do you like soda or do you like tea? Now, when I asked the American woman out, it was like, where are you taking me? Because I ain't trying to go to no Olive Garden now. It's a totally different story. That's why it's hard for men to make it work here.
And how you doing, Tammy Love? Have you dated every black American woman?
Of course not, but I'm gonna just tell you the majority of women here.
Wait, have you dated every African woman straight from the motherland?
Of course not, but I've dated several.
How can you make a sound decision that all African women are gonna treat you like a king, and all African American women want to go to Olive Garden or better? I personally don't like Olive Garden; it's too salty. Just to keep it real.
See what I'm saying? You see?
Wait. I didn't say
you're too good for Olive Garden.
It's too salty. It's raising my blood pressure.
See, the African woman say, hey, I'm cooking tonight. Don't worry about it.
And you know what? Listen, this African American woman, I'm going to cook for you. I'm going to cook for you when you talk about making plans for me. But I'm not just, I'll cook for a lot of Negroes, right? The next man I cook for, he's gonna have to set his intentions with me, but I ain't just gonna be cooking for just any old body. And trust me, I'm wifey material all day long. Okay.
Right.
I love you, but you're too opinionated to be a wife. You want to have your say, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you too opinionated to be a wife. We are, all of us guys. We love you. We love your character. We love your demeanor. But as far as wife material, you too mean. You would be one of those women we would have to sit out in the car for 45 minutes before we come in after work, because we know you're going to get on the back of our head.
You can ask any man. You can ask any man I've been with. They'll ask you if I was too mean or any of that other stuff. See, the problem with y'all is not every black man, because not every, I can name every black woman. Problem with y'all is y'all don't want a woman that's smarter than y'all or just as smart as y'all. Y'all want somebody, yes, yes, dear, yeah, woman. That's what y'all want. Y'all don't want a woman to say, honey, I got something to say too. By the way, you want brown gravy or you want white gravy? Y'all don't want that. Y'all want somebody to bow down and not have an opinion.
We have a woman talking. We have a woman talking. Oh, hold on, Demetra. Hold on. Yes. Everybody go on mute. Everybody go on mute.
Please and thank you. Jalen.
Hi.
How you doing, boo?
Better. I have a question, and this is for the men. Do you like it when a woman tells you what it takes to be a man? And this is a yes or no question.
It'll be a no for me.
Okay.
Be a man.
Everyone else?
This is a yes or no question.
I believe
it'll be a no for me.
Okay.
And that would be a no for me, because I don't think any woman can tell a man how to be a man.
Okay.
A man needs to know how to be a man.
Okay, so that's 2 out of 4. What about the other 2? Yes or no?
I feel like it's necessary for a man to know what a woman expects. So yes, he should ask, what do you expect out of me if we're going to be in a relationship? He shouldn't just assume this is what you're going to get and this is what I'm going to be. He should be kind enough to say, let me see what she wants and let's make some adjustments.
Okay. And then
so I'm
the
midway.
Last
one. No, I wouldn't like to be told how to be a man, but I would accept the woman's opinion, especially if I'm dealing with her.
Okay. So majority of you said no. Well, it's kind of a tie. Regardless, my point is,
I know where she's going, but go ahead, miss.
Okay, well, let me get there, please. Thank you. If you don't like being told what it takes to be a man and being taught by a woman on the qualities of what a man is, why would you teach a woman on what a woman is supposed to be? I don't think any of you have been a woman in your lifetime. You don't know what it takes. So why would you tell women how to be feminine and how to be a woman if you're not one?
Well, you don't think some of it is natural? I'll give you an example. Women have breasts and wombs, so they shouldn't be doing the same type of work a man should. It's natural. No one has to teach anybody that a woman should do softer things. They should be nurturing. They should be home teaching the kids more than out working these factory jobs. Nowadays, it's just as many women working at Amazon moving big boxes as men. I'm like, what is going on here?
I mean, all I hear right now is just ways on how women can be better and how we should fix our population. Well, since you guys are men, shouldn't you be telling men how to fix them? Because really, it's issues on both sides.
Hold on. Let me explain.
Okay.
Let me explain to you. Okay. Men tell each other and put each other in check constantly. That's why men fight with each other so much. Once a man checks another man, there is going to be contention. Okay. And so that's what happens most time is a man says something to another man that he may not like or appreciate, and there's going to be an uproar. Now, as far as what a woman should be, we shouldn't have to tell you how to be a woman. You learn that by example from your mother. Now,
right. Wait a minute now. Wait, because she was talking after she
okay. Talked. All right. I'm go back on mute.
Please and thank you. I'm gonna give it to Corliss, then I'm gonna give it to Maxwell.
This one in the corner up here.
Hold on, Corliss. Woo-sa. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know what you justify a woman's workplace and what she does to the quality and the standards of her being a woman. A woman can work on a railroad, but a woman gonna be a woman regardless once she leaves that job. A woman knows how to get dressed, clean up well, and be a woman. Her job doesn't justify who she is and how hard she. It ain't about staying at home no more. Basically,
A woman shouldn't have to work on the railroad.
No. Stop. I'll let you talk. At the end of the day, you have to find what fits you. Okay, so you can't come in here like you said, Demetria's a strong woman. I damn sure know I am, because I raised 7 by myself. Okay, because of a lot of foolishness that I chose not to deal with. But at the end of the day, when a real man steps to me, I know how to turn this off and be the woman that I need to be. You know, my grandmother always tells me, you were born a wife. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to take care of a family. I know how to bust my ass and work. I'm an entrepreneur. I didn't work with the best of them. I'm smart as hell. Yes, I got a smart ass mouth.
Are you married?
But the right man, walking in, being a man and being my mate, I know how to shut the hell up too. So you have to find what fits and works for you. Everybody don't like strong women. And what you say, women today, they independent. We're independent because we had to be, not because we wanted to be. America, you say y'all check these men. I done seen so many disrespectful Negroes out here in the world that won't nobody check, won't nobody say nothing to, and know they ain't your friends. Because now if you say something to another Negro that's doing something they ain't got no business, they ready to blow your brains out. So if y'all get on these little young niggas, excuse my French, they won't grow up to be fuck niggas as adult men. Because that's what's running around out here.
So let me ask, well, let's get to the root of it. Well, why in America, why is there a lot less families, meaning father and mother in the homes? And why in Africa, it's about 4 out of 5 have both parents in the home. Here, it's about 1 out of 5. So what are we doing wrong as a people, women and men? No pointing the finger at the women, no pointing at the finger. We're doing something wrong. What is it?
Let me just throw this in here. I'm going to throw this in here. And I'm not saying my African sisters over there aren't good women. I know them to be. But why aren't they all married? Why are there women over there for y'all or any other country for that matter? Whether you're going to the Dominican Republic, Brazil, wherever. Why aren't they all gaffled up by a man? Why are they waiting for y'all to come over there?
No.
Because women outnumber men. Women outnumber men. Women all through history have always outnumbered men. It's a natural fact. We die earlier. We do riskier things. We get killed earlier in life. Women have always outnumbered men. So that's why they're all not gaffled up. But go ahead. I'm gonna go back on mute. And I would love to respond to Miss Corliss though, because
he answered it exactly.
I
agree.
Let me let Maxwell jump in really quick. You've been so patient. How you doing? Let me take y'all mute. There you go. Now we can hear you.
Hey, how you doing? Chat panel, Miss K. What exactly is the topic? Because when I came in, it sounded like we were fighting, black women versus black men.
You know what? For some reason, it always goes there. We were talking about Black Wall Street and how we can build, and then somehow I'm gonna have to go back and look how we got to talking about. Somebody said something about black women or something, but that's where we are, nevertheless.
Okay, and I heard something earlier when I did come in. I was driving earlier when I tried to get in earlier. Anyway, I heard something about going back to Africa and. You know what I'm saying? Then we got on the black men versus black women kick. I made a comment in the chat. I said, let's get off the passport bros rhetoric. I don't want to go to another country where other men have taken care of their women and we just move in and take their women because we have more resources. I don't want to go trick in a third world country. I don't want to do none of that. But I've been married for 26 years. So I married an American black woman. So I don't understand what people are saying about there's no marriageable women, and I don't understand that. But I've never had a problem with that.
Bro,
So
you've been married for 26 years. You've been off the market for 26 years. You don't think these women have changed out here
Do,
in
Black
quarter of
America,
a century?
do you think
nah,
that? Do
dude,
you,
I have little sisters and nieces, and they don't seem to have a problem finding a man, and the man didn't have a problem finding them. So
Can I piggyback off of that?
sure.
Okay. If in the passport bro theology is very flawed. If all of these men who have to get passports to be able to find women that are, quote unquote wife material, doesn't that mean there's a common denominator with you? If you ran through all of these women in America, Black women, and you still didn't find one, shouldn't you be in a therapist's office? Just saying. Do you not see a problem with you?
Can I answer that? Let me. I understand what you're saying, but do you understand what a man wants from a woman?
I've heard the opinions of what men want from women.
Okay.
However, there's
Okay.
a reciprocation that's needed as well.
Okay. Well, this gentleman is married, right? What's your name, brother?
Demetra, can I speak?
yeah, it's Maxwell.
Yeah.
Mr. Maxwell is married. Mr. Maxwell probably goes to work every day, or he will give his life for his woman. And
Yes, sir.
his woman then reciprocates by giving her life to him, being honest, being forthright. If they got 26 years in, they done been through the war and the battles, and she's still there holding on, and he's holding on to her while they're grinding and going up.
Hey, she's still fine too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And she's still fine. Men, we don't.
Wait, Black America. Let me. We got 500 people on here. I got to let Brother Don, then Miss Keisha. Then I'm gonna give it back to Corliss, and then to Yahuda. Y'all remember the order, because I ain't gonna remember. Brother Don.
Okay, you want me to stop? Okay.
Yeah, that's what she wants. I would. I think I can speak for my brother Yehuda as well. I take offense to that. You passport bros. We're leaving America to start a new life. We're not leaving America to go chase women. We're leaving America because America is done. That's why we're leaving. So we ain't going to chase no. If I meet somebody, great. If I don't, great. My life will be a hell of a lot better than here.
Make a U-turn here.
So for me, it ain't about women and all that. It's about me getting out of this damn place before they kill me. I'll land there. I'm gonna come back later.
All right, brother.
Absolutely.
I got you. All right. Now who did I say was next?
You said I was next.
How you doing,
Hi,
Demetria?
Demetria.
How you doing?
He's right.
Wait, hold on.
a
We're
second,
gonna let
brother. Let me
Keisha
just-
speak. Go ahead.
Let me just say this, and then I'll jump off so everybody else can talk. But I just wanted to say, this whole conversation is about value. Who do you value and why do you value them? It's not really about one set of Black women being better than another set of Black women. And I'll tell you this, it does Black women a disservice when we have this type of conversation. I don't like it on the other end too, when Black women have this conversation about what type of Black man or where this Black man is from is better. It's not. And I'll tell you why from personal experience. I'm originally from the U.S. Virgin Islands, but I grew up in Maryland and DC. I spent most of my life in Maryland and DC. And as soon as someone found out that I was from the Virgin Islands, they started treating me different. And I started seeing it. And when I say different, I don't necessarily mean worse or better. It just depends on what they valued. So we're having these conversations, and women from other places know this. We see it because we feel it. And when I see myself, I see Demetria. When I see myself, I see women from everywhere. Black women from anywhere are my sisters. I don't like it. It's not okay. One woman is not better than another. It's just what you value. And if we keep it to, okay, this is what I want, this is what I value, then it's not about the other person, because maybe you value something different than that person is, but they have somebody that will value them too. It's not about better. It's about what you value. And with that, I'll jump off, y'all. Have a good night.
Keisha, thank you so much for bringing some sense and sensibility to this conversation, because you are absolutely right. People are people everywhere. It's the value that you put on that person and the value that you have yourself. So I love you for bringing that up. Thank you so much.
All right, y'all. Thank you, Dimitri. I love your show, and I'll keep watching.
Thank you so much. All right. So who did I say next was Corliss?
She stated it perfectly. And that's what I said. You have to find what works for you. Like he said, he's been married for 26 years. Well, of course, Black America, people are going to change in centuries because that's just what they do. I have 4 daughters and 3 sons. Okay. Values. Very much so. But it also is what you choose and what you're willing to accept. If you can't get both of y'all clashing, it's never gonna work. You ain't gonna get past the what do I say? The representative. Half of us don't get past the representative because hell, the representative be lasting for a long time sometimes now, and then by the time you find out who he really is, either you ready to do something to him or run his ass over. And that goes both ways. So at the end of the day, y'all want these docile women and you got to go to another country. So he say to get it, or the family or whatever it is you doing. Well, hell, they got mail order brides. You ain't got to go nowhere. They delivering them to the door. At the end of the day, you get what you give. So if you want somebody that stays at home, or most women today don't want to stay at home. They want to work. They don't want to be Nicki Minaj or this other person that you're talking about. They're very educated. They want to be able to give. It's a give and take situation. It's not a, oh, you do everything and I sit at home. Everybody ain't no football player. They ain't getting that long money like that. They got to get up and go to work. And I watch my brother and my sister and my brother-in-law, they're a team. Like, they are a team for real. And you have to find somebody that you can be a team with. It's just not, oh, I want you to walk around here because he said it. Oh, they're beautiful over there. There's some beautiful women over here too. But you have to give them a chance to be beauty, because you could be beautiful outside and ugly as hell on the inside. So you got a beautiful body in your bed with a fucked up demon on the inside. So what is it that you want?
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Well, you just because it's a beautiful person on the outside don't mean they ugly on the inside.
Honey, I'm a woman, okay? You got some fine ass niggas out here, and they psychopaths and sociopaths. I'm not saying everybody, but I got some real homeboys too that I hung with, and I know. I listen to men talk. I got a whole bunch of uncles. So I ain't talking about something I don't know. I'm talking about something I done heard grown men. I ain't talking about no little boys. I'm talking about grown men talk about when they say beautiful women and they're ugly to a core on the inside, and it happens.
I understand that, but the problem is, just like you say, it's some fine ass niggas. You women are looking.
Can I ask y'all a question? Let's say Negroes.
Oh,
let's leave that word off. If y'all
it's some handsome gentlemen, right?
Yes.
You guys are looking at men for the aesthetics. Men are not supposed to be the fairer one. Women are the fairer sex.
No, let me say something to you.
Okay.
I don't date handsome men. Okay, I didn't have some fine ones in my day, but the ugly ones just as bad as the fine ones. Now, I'm talking about ugly. Ugly to where my family then walked me outside and said, "Baby, what's wrong? Why?" And I said, "Oh, auntie, he got a good personality. It wasn't just the personality that I was into. And I know you get what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, he wasn't fine. He was ugly as he was ugly. Personality was good to an extent. And I dealt with it for a long time. But at the end of the day, it ain't about you looking good because your looks ain't paying no bills nowhere."
I
Oh,
think we just
that
want two
comment
different
right
things
there.
as men and women. We Demetra, this proves it. We are just Brother Maxwell is the luckiest man on the planet besides some of the other brothers I know.
I
Because
totally agree with you on
because
that.
because we are on two totally different planets at this point on what we want from a woman and what a woman wants. If she said something, women have changed, men have not changed. And I'm going to apologize. We want the same thing that we wanted from you 20,000 years ago.
Let me
We have
let me jump in here, and I'm gonna give it to Jalen and then back to Corliss. You say, how is it that women have changed, but men ain't changed? Because, like I said, I hear a lot of men say I ain't gonna pay for no woman. I ain't taking care of no woman. You want that woman to go out there and bust a hustle, pay half the bills, and I almost said something nasty, but I'm a lady. Okay, you want her to you want her to give you all that you can handle, but she got to go out there and do some work as well. So some men have changed because, as I said, my mama didn't work. I know a lot of
where have you heard a man say that? Point that out to me. Because I've never heard it. I have never in my life have I heard a man say that he wants a woman to go and buy him a pair of shoes or hustle or anything. Where have you heard men say that?
I can't.
What part of America is he in? I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to step in. Like, are you serious? And you talking about you from California? If you don't knock it the hell off, and then you said this too, because I'm about to go to my grandson's graduation, so I definitely got to check out. But I got to say this: you said men have not changed. If you don't see all these flip flopping Negroes out here, y'all didn't change. Y'all want the same shit we want. Stop it. Now, it might not be you, but I don't know what part of America you in. But I need you to wake the hell up. Is you asleep? You know real men out here. These boy, don't you get me started. Where have you been? What rock are you literally under? Because these men ain't out here being men. Did you see the thing on Facebook that said you raising your boys to be girls? It's for real.
No, I'm not on social media, but I'm gonna tell you.
That goes both ways.
You better Google. You better do something.
I'm gonna tell you who is raising the boys to be girls.
America.
You see what I'm saying? So
America,
so
America is doing this to our men. They're making the women.
Hold on. How is America making your boys girls, bro? I don't know. I've never seen America say for a boy to put on a dress or put on his mama's shoes.
Have you watched any award shows lately? Every award show, you will see men dressed as women, makeup on. You see Nas X come out there sliding down the pole with a thong on. It's just everywhere. And every commercial, just about, you might catch two men kissing on a perfume cologne commercial. It's all over TV. Every Tyler Perry show, you got men.
Wait. So men have changed.
Oh, have they?
Because America is doing it. One reason why we need to have Black Wall Street in Africa. Because America is messing us up. Nobody's happy. There are no families. There's 1 in 5 have a structured family.
I don't think.
Okay, let Jalen jump in and then Maxwell.
I don't think it's America. America is it's a country. I don't think you can blame a country for the family being broken. You can blame the individuals. I think that's an easier, point of blame.
In
Blame
most
the
countries in
individual.
Africa, you can't even have homosexuality. It's
I
a
don't think homosexuality is a reason for absent fathers. I think
well,
absent
you gotta.
fathers are
Well, that
reasons
does
for
take away
absent
from
fathers.
family because a majority of women, a large, I won't say the majority, maybe 6 out of 10 women of them die now.
Let me
But
ask
Do
y'all
you have
crazy.
do you
Y'all
have a
like
data? Do you have any data to source? Like, do you have a source for that?
The
It's very
CDC,
high.
the
It's very
CDC,
high.
blackdemographics.com, there is plenty of sources out there that says that almost 54% of black women are swinging both ways or in
But
Thank you.
a
what
homosexual
does that have to
relationship.
do?
In
but
Africa,
y'all, hold
it's
on,
1
y'all.
in 10.
It's so
that
funny that
you know above.
it's so funny that y'all say all these black gay women, but where was y'all at in the menage a trois? Like, come on, y'all. Y'all gonna act like y'all had two women going at it and it was sexy and all of that. If you
That's
come on, like if we're
I,
gonna be real, like
But
for real.
I hold on real quick. Sexual identity has nothing to do with families being broken. If
How do
we're
you
of course,
get
going to
here?
talk about
of
data,
course it does. Of
All
Of
right,
course
course.
it
majority
does.
of people,
You guys are killing me. You're killing me with your
Time out.
history.
a majority
Okay,
of
hold on.
people
Wait, hold on.
okay.
Wait, we got it. We can't talk over each other because from the other side, the audience, all they hear is rah, rah, rah. So we got to let people finish their point. Jalen,
I wish I could bring up the citation now, but I'm not going to use a percentage. But a majority of people who get
hold on,
divorced.
Jalen. I got the number for you. 23% of black women.
Okay. What she said, divorce not due to sexual identity, but more so majority of divorces happen due to finances. So sexual identity is not listed at all when it comes to broken families. Homosexuality, two men kissing on a commercial does not cause, if it's within you to not be faithful, it's going to be within you whether you watch a commercial or not. You're just not going to be faithful. I don't think you should blame every other factor than the individual itself. They are the blame. They need to fix their own issues. Fixing it from an outward scale, it's way more difficult than trying to fix the individual. I'm done.
Well, if our goal is to have families here, then we have to be truthful. Homosexuality takes away from families because that's lowering your percentage of finding a mate. That's a fact.
What about infidelity? What about that?
That's a big issue too.
So why don't
And
we address infidelity first?
Women and men are cheat at roughly the same rate. So you can't blame it. It's not a blame thing. We keep trying to point fingers back at one another. 28% of men cheat, 24% of women cheat.
I didn't say
It,
men. I just said infidelity.
it
Wait, hold up. Black
think
America,
about who leaves the relationship.
wait. Where are you getting your data from?
Exactly.
you're right. Infidelity is a major problem here.
It's public knowledge. It's all you have.
Wait.
Go to blackdemographics.com. Go to the CDC websites.
Okay, but let me ask you this: if the man is cheating with the woman, aren't they probably cheating just equally the same?
That's exactly what I said. Women cheat.
Go ahead.
The problem is who leaves. Who leaves the relationship?
Okay,
a
wait a
man
minute.
will.
Wait.
Can we keep?
When Donovan be on here moving the goalposts, we ain't gonna keep moving the goalposts now. We're not
Demetra,
go ahead, Jalen.
fact check me, but I think homosexuals still make up less than 10% of the population. Do they not?
They make up about 1% of the black population.
Right. So we can't blame homosexual identity for the reason people are leaving their relationships because they make up less than 1% of the population.
Nobody said that.
I think the man in the top right corner did.
We're saying it destroys family. I'm gonna tell you something, and I
Okay,
want every
oh, have mercy.
give me 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
As
30
a
seconds.
as a straight man, I do not agree with it. Most of us straight men, we do not agree with it. We don't like it. We may not say nothing about it, but we don't get down like that. A large percentage of black women, they say it is okay. Can I get a yes or a no from the guys? Is that the way we as men feel?
I agree. I think men are a lot less susceptible to it.
I'm tired of seeing that stuff in my face, which is another reason I'm going to be happy to leave. So I don't have to see this crap that they're shoving down our throats.
I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I was in South Africa and I saw it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
all
South
over
Africa.
the
That's
world.
South Africa. That's South Africa. Them is white folks.
Homosexuality has
They was
existed
black men.
way before we existed. Homosexuality has been ever since pagan times. Like they're here to stay. It doesn't matter where you go. They're here to stay.
What I'm saying is it is acceptable by our women and it is not acceptable by our men. And
The devil is a lie.
and every little thing that draws a wedge in between us is another thing. It makes another gap. It makes it harder on us as a cohesive.
Exactly.
They all add up. And
add up to why we can't have Black Wall Street here. That is the subject.
Wait.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, honey. I'm a very straight black woman, and there ain't nothing nobody flipping and flopping can come over here and fool with me. I don't play that, and none of my friends do either. So I don't know what women you know that's accepting it, grown women, but no, sir.
So you don't have any gay friends?
You said
So we're supposed to alienate people because they want to have sex with the same people.
If you have gangrene in your foot, you cut it off.
And let me tell you, I'm not gonna alienate them because we're supposed to love people as a whole. I got a gay son. Do I like it? Absolutely not. But you think I'm gonna turn on my son because he like boys? No. I definitely wouldn't. I wish a nigga would. I wish a Negro would. Run up on them if you want to. Play with them if you want to. You gonna fuck around and find out.
And that's what I'm saying. It's acceptable. It's
no,
acceptable.
That's my son. You think I'm crazy as fuck. You think I'm not gonna?
But this is coming from.
I don't know.
Corliss, hold on.
You gonna say it's accepted? That's somebody I carry, baby. That ain't somebody I picked up out the dumpster. That's my blood. That's my son. Whether I like it or not, I'm not gonna abandon my son because of his sexual preference.
Corliss, have you cut anybody in your family off for any reason? Come on, keep it real. Because as a man, I cut a Mother Hubbard off in a second. I said Mother Hubbard. I didn't cuss.
Time out. My daughter's back here. She's literally turning backflips, and she wants to interject.
Come on, D. Come on, little D.
She said she's too lazy to jump on the link, but she back here really like jumping up and down.
But I just think it's crazy that y'all have found 5-6 different reasons why the black man is innocent in all this. Now you're blaming gay men that not no straight woman is sleeping with. They're less than 1%. If y'all ain't sleeping with them and we ain't sleeping with them, why does it matter in our family unit?
Exactly.
Because we don't want it around us. We don't want to see it.
Well, you don't have any jurisdiction to tell someone
exactly.
Wait, hold on. Repeat
we don't have any jurisdiction.
Black America, hold on a second.
I said vow that protest too much because their life shouldn't even bother you. If you can't go into their house, once they out of your face, their life does not matter to you. But you're sitting here mad talking about gay people like they control anything that happens in your life, how you interact with your woman, how you raise your children. They don't control nothing in your immediate family. So why are you blaming the less than 1% of gay men for ruining a cisgendered relationship?
Whoa, she's using pronouns.
Well, can I say something? We do know in Atlanta, 1 in 20 men have HIV. and they say that it's spreading fast and it's
And
only
that's
growing.
due to infidelity.
Now we know a lot of people are flip-flopping these days, so it makes it harder for people to live comfortably, and it makes us more nervous about who we date. It just makes everything complicated when it comes
But
to building family, because HIV is a very
That is
and
very
the
oh
majority
my
is the
God.
gay community.
that is
76%
very true.
HIV.
Randy,
the gay
wait a
community.
minute, y'all. Let me say
Hold on,
this,
hold on,
please.
hold on, hold on.
Let me say this, please. Hurry up and take your ass to Africa, because what you just said was some crazy bull.
No,
I'm
but
sorry.
listen
You
to what
said
I'm
one
saying.
in 20 in
About
Atlanta. Oh my
the
God, help
thing
me
is, why
today.
can't we have Black Wall Street here?
Hold on,
All
wait,
of
hold
those
on,
things
hold
are
on,
different.
hold on. I just want to let's everybody take a deep breath together. Okay, listen. I know emotions are high, and I promise you we gonna get through this. But if I could ask everybody, please, not to cuss, because I can get in trouble here on this platform. And, you know that I cuss sometimes too, but let's just try not to, and let's let everybody speak at once. Because if you guys listen to this back, it'll sound like roar like that, right? So everybody has to speak at once. If somebody has the floor, please let's do our best not to cut them off. If we could please do that, love and appreciate you. Dance at each and every one of you guys' weddings, except for Brother Maxwell. He's been married for 26 years. Yes.
I get what he's saying about Atlanta. However, if you're dating with the intention to marry one person and be in a faithful relationship with that one person, why does it matter all the HIV whoop whoop that everybody else has? Because you should be dating somebody, talking about test results with that one person that you're trying to marry. It sounds like you're trying to run through a bunch of women, and it's scary because HIV is the 1 in 20 men or people in Atlanta. You don't know who you could riskfully sleep with and get HIV. You should be, practicing safe dating, safe sex anyways.
Guns tip, you can click on the link on YouTube if you want to come on. I'll be on about another 15 minutes at best, but come over to YouTube, click on the link, and you can come up. So we have people on Facebook as well. All right, anybody want to respond to that one at a time, please?
Because if you raw dogging randoms, that sounds like Darwinism to me. That sounds like natural selection to me.
Brother Maxwell.
Oh, I was muted. Okay. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to get off or drop down or however it goes. The homosexuality thing doesn't really affect straight people unless somebody's lying. Like your daughter said, if you're out there cheating or trying to run through everybody, then that is a scary situation. If you're dealing with one person and you guys are honest and practicing safe dating, safe sex, whatever, you should be okay. Number two, the dudes that are talking about going to Africa and blah, blah, and blah, do you know what the HIV rate in Africa is among single people? Really? Have y'all done any research? Because you're pro-African. I take it you guys are Pan-Africanists. Do you know what the HIV AIDS rate is in all of Africa? Look it up, Google it. You'll be surprised. So you better not raw dog anything out there that you don't know. Period. Or you're going to be radioactive and you won't be able to come back to the States. 3, I'm not a Pan-Africanist. I don't want to leave my country. You know what I'm saying? That my ancestors built, and a lot of us weren't brought here on slave ships. Some of us were here already, but that's a whole nother conversation. But why would I want to run to a continent where everybody's coming here to what we built? Everybody is coming here to what we built. We're turning down millions of people a day. Well, not so much recently because the borders seem to be wide open, but you know what I'm saying? We turn down people daily at the border. Lots of them are Black, from the diaspora or the Caribbean. So, I mean, I understand what y'all saying, going to Africa, buying up the land, building stuff for Black people. But a lot of the Black Africans there don't even get along with each other. And I'm not trying to, have a disparaging feeling about Africa. I love all my people. Anybody on code, I'm with them. I'm B1. I'm an FBA brother and I'm B1. So I love everybody. I love especially everybody that's on code with me. But I'm not going to leave my land that my ancestors built, fought, died, bled. We have blood in this soil. So, and I don't see the reason for leaving. I see us getting on code, practicing, group economics, practicing real Black empowerment, and then we can get stuff done. Stuff has been getting done. Like, we've been doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got reparations in the lexicon. People are talking about that now. 10 years ago, no reparations talk. So
And
that's
you know
just
what?
my opinion on everything.
You said a mouthful. You're absolutely right. They were talking about reparations, but not to this degree. It's like everywhere right now. So
Yes, ma'am.
we are making some traction. Facts Not Feelings. How you doing today? He says most Blacks are not trying to come to USA. I don't know about that. Like I said, when I was over in Africa, they was like, the matter of fact, they was trying to come to California. And I was like, nah, y'all better off over here. They don't believe all the hype that you looking at on, on TVs. You better off over. We trying to come over here. So they are trying to come over here. And I live in Houston, and there's a large African population here. So
large.
Yep,
Large.
huge. They have their own little hotspot.
Their own enclaves. They have their own enclave.
Well, yeah, they're building their Black Wall Streets in a sense. They stick together, unlike us.
But didn't you say we couldn't build Black Wall Street here?
Well, we've been
they Black, even though they're Africans, they're Black, right?
We put it
even though they're African, they look like us. And you're saying they're building their Black Wall Street here, but they get assistance. So the government knows the difference between them and us.
Most of them come
That's
here,
right, because
they stay for years, they build their money, and they go back. They don't intend.
No, they don't, dude. Okay, on that one, stop lying. That's a lie. That's a lie.
I worked 3 years for an African company, a Nigerian company. Man, I talk to them every day. I know all.
But do you see the results here? How many here that you know that are here that immigrated here went back? They might send money back. They're not trying to go back. What are you talking about? Let's be real. Let's be real. Come on, let's keep it 100.
Here.
Man, they knocking each other over the head trying to get over here. They will tell any lie to get over here. They will leave their family. They will leave their family, all that, to get over here. So let's stop
jump in here. Let me let Jalen jump in.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Being in Houston, I've come across a lot of people who came from Africa. And a lot of them say that their plan is to stay here and send money back to their families so that they can build. It's not, I want to go back to my home country. They don't want to go back there. They hated it. They hated it there. They like it here in a capitalist society where they can make their money, build their own little community, send it back to their family, and live their life in peace and quiet. That's what they like to do.
And it's a flex. It's a flex for them to come over here. That's a major flex. You want a foreign?
Let me let Corliss jump in. Oh, you just listening? You taking your woo-saw break still? That's my girl, y'all. Corliss is my girl.
I'm gonna drop down, y'all. I'm gonna drop down.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
So, y'all, what do y'all have to say in closing before we get out of here? I know one day we shall overcome and continue to talk about the topic at hand. I'm still hopeful that we can build a Black Wall Street. I live in the South, right? I live in Texas, where I understand there's the most Black people in the United States. So why can't we at least try? Like, if we go out, there's a lot of us that are at nightclubs and we're eating out, like we're doing that kind of stuff. But why can't we take some of that effort to build a Black Wall Street? And so, Black America, I want to go to you, Corliss, Yehuda, Don, and then Jalen. Final thoughts, 30 seconds, please, apiece.
I just go back to the same old thing. We don't have a family. We don't have a good family structure. And as long as we don't have a family and we're a cohesive unit, we won't be able to get on the same page. We won't be able to build a daggone doghouse.
All right. Corliss. I mute you.
Pass it to somebody else and I'll go after them.
Okay, you go last. Yehuda.
And once again, I say the reason why we shouldn't do it here is because we've tried that. Only an ignorant person does the same thing over again. We see that whites do not like us. We watch the news every day. They're going to do everything they stop you. If you become successful, they're going to find ways. Last time it was finding someone, starting a fight between them and us, and they started bombing us because we were winning the fight. They basically killed over 300 people in one night. Why do it again? Why separate yourselves so that they can do it again? It might be a sickness in the community next time.
All right. And Brother Don?
I think we're trying to give simple answers to very complicated situations. But there is one thing that runs consistent. All of this was planned. Your family's being destroyed. Your community's being destroyed. Other people being brought in that look like you, but see, they don't have the guilt of enslaving them. And since they didn't colonize them, they don't have any guilt there. This is very, very complicated matter, and we need to be nicer to one another. The other thing is, you guys will find out, we are very specific people, and that's why the world hates us, the Negroes.
Absolutely.
And I'll land my plane there.
All right. Corliss, you got the last word. Or Jalen, did you speak?
Corliss can go.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say this, and I know Black America is off of here, but you need a real reality check with all the kids that you have. Gays are not our problem. They are the least of them, and they stand together. That's one thing we need to learn from them. When they open their mouth, they make a straight movement. You're not gonna play with them. You ain't gonna do too much with them. You need to figure out what family looks like. And I'm not going to turn my back on my family, something that I carried, because of his sexual preference. I don't like it. I don't have to be around it, but I have to respect him for who he is. And I think that we could create another Black Wall Street if we knew how to stick together. We don't have to go nowhere, because guess what? Like they said, the Africans coming here, they getting an American dollar, and they taking real good care of their family back there. So we need to learn some things from them at the end of the day. And that's it, y'all.
Thank you, and congratulations to your grandbaby. Jalen, you have the last word.
Oh, God. From what I've heard, I think the main problem in every aspect that we talked about today is some people are just not willing to compromise. If more people were willing to come to the table and come to a compromise rather than just worrying about what they can get and think about the betterment of the majority, we would be able to stick together. But until all of us are able to build that quality, we're not. And that's why I feel like Black Wall Street will not exist again.
We got a lot of different opinions and facts, not feelings. I want to actually leave off with you. He says, when Black Wall Street was created, Black men were in charge of it. And that I totally agree. We do need to get back to that, where we in the Black community have more of a patriarchal society. And that's not, I guess I got to be careful how I phrase this, because we know now the Black community is more matriarchal, and it does need to be more patriarchal, in that they are in charge and they are running things. I don't know how long it'll take us for us to get there, but we do need to get there. But back then in Black Wall Street, the men were in charge, and the women could rest in their femininity because they weren't expected to behave like men and do the things that men do in order, to make the community do whatever it's doing. And so we'll be back here on Sunday live with Donovan for more spirited conversation. Hopefully we can stay on topic. I'm going to pray for it. Anyway, I love it. I appreciate every last one of y'all in the comment section. Thank you for your comments. Sorry that I was not able to get to them all, but I will strive to do that as much as I can. Again, we have ways to help the channel if you guys so see fit to do that. But in the meantime, you guys, please be blessed and come back and see me again. Peace.